on the institution of marriage. So this law is not the first, but it is maybe modern, and it's trying to be universal. It's like having a language for Uganda, you know.
Surely, may I intervene?
No, I
just hold on a bit.
Because really we should do.
No, I think you should wait for me. So I'm developing my thoughts on this.
But let me take a break so that you have a little longer time. Viewers, we are taking a break. Among those clauses that of course have brought a lot of controversy are of course the sharing of property upon a dissolution of a marriage. The other, my friend James Kakoza has been raising questions on, I think it is clause 22, that talks about a contractual marriage, and he says, wait a minute, we have not had those here. When Peter and X set out and say we are going to be married for 8 years, and upon this marriage the following things shall happen, he says, wait a minute, is that actually a marriage or is that a commercial enterprise?
But you are talking a lot. We want to educate the public listening to us, because we are not going to depend on
Maybe I'll take a break
of what people are saying.
I'll take a break and then I'll come back to you.
Your afternoon just got better. WBS TV brings you bliss with country on Mondays.
That is what we are. No one in between.
Love ballads on Tuesdays. African on Wednesdays. Reggae and Ragga on Thursdays. R&B and hip hop on Fridays. Classics on Saturdays. Your afternoon just got better. Watch Bliss every afternoon here on WBS TV.
Welcome back, viewers. Peter Chibazo, issues at hand. Honorable Miriam Matembe and Honorable Betty Olive Kamia. Betty, Just before I go to my producer to give me a comment from Archbishop Ntagali, you were completing your statement.
Yeah, I was completing my statement. So I said, this is a very unusual bill, and we need to not take it for granted that it should be like it is, like that everybody will want it to be, common to all. But having said that, my view on cohabitation, and I'm sorry about this, I know that cohabitation is a reality. There are probably more cohabiting couples than legally married couples.
Yes, they are.
There are probably more cohabiting couples than legally married ones. But I have a bit of an issue with the cohabitation, the way it is being handled, because it seems to undermine the occasion of the legalization of marriage. What values are we trying to promote? Because when you bring a bill, you want to answer a need, but you also need, or rather you must have some values that you're trying to promote. Instead of legalizing or promoting cohabitation, I would rather you promote or you make marriage easy, so that people find it easy to get legally married, than now
provide alternate avenues.
Yes, than just making it easy for them to cohabitate. Then there is no motivation to legalize your living together. And it is very important, the legalization of marriage, the way we know it, brings in family and friends. It brings a community and two families together. But cohabitation somehow leaves those two wherever they meet. On their own, they are free. I think it undermines the bond that brings families together. I would rather, and besides, it's a fine line. I mean, why would, normally it's the women who, like Miriam says, who suffer in this relationship if it breaks down of cohabitation. So why would girls want to go in it? Or why would a boy, in this case, not want to marry the girl? Because if he wants to marry the girl, then he quickly goes and asks for hand in marriage and goes ahead and marries her. But what actually happens, and I'm saying this with the pain, I don't want it to happen, but it does happen, is that a girl makes it easy for the boy to accommodate her when he's not ready to marry her. She goes and stays overnight, leaves a dress. She goes the second night, leaves a dress, cleans up, washes his clothes. She makes herself very useful for the boy. Third month, she's pregnant. She has trapped him, So that's what we should discourage. So, what they call in Uganda akasefulia. You go and make it so easy. You make yourself so easy for you to stay at home. What we should be encouraging is for people to get into this institution of marriage when they both want to.
They've committed to.
When they're committed to it. Not because one of you has no choice, he was trapped, and as he's trapped, he's looking for someone else, he's not sure. In the meantime, you're getting children, you're acquiring property, and then at the end of the day, you need this bill. I think we should encourage the other girls not to go to the boy unless you both want to live together, then you get married.
Honorable Miriam Atenda.
I want to handle cohabiting. Don't take me anywhere.
I need to read the
want to
objective
discuss
of this
issue
bill.
Of cohabiting.
Yes, I'll read you the objective of the bill. The minister says, the object of this bill is to reform and consolidate the law relating to marriage, separation and divorce. Next, to provide for the types of recognized marriages in Uganda, marital rights and blah, blah, blah. Then recognition of cohabitation in relation to property rights. It is recognition of cohabitation not as a marriage form, but in relation to property rights, grounds for breakdown of marriage rights and parties, dissolution of marriage, and other connected purposes. Honorable Matenda.
Don't ask me other
10
things.
years.
Because for me, I came here when you called me
Yes.
to educate the public.
Deal with the
Because
aspect
I
of
have been
cohabitation.
thinking, people have been misunderstanding this whole law. They've been misinforming people, and therefore everybody has come up in arms to fight the law. First of all, I want to make it clear that for me as a person, I hate cohabiting. I hate it. I even preach against it. I even tell girls, please, please don't cohabit. I don't like it because it has no status. It does not give the people in that relationship any status for protection. So I want the public to understand me and the whole church to know that I don't like cohabiting. Okay? But I'm not here to discuss the ideal. I'm discussing the reality. The reality on the ground is that 60% of the so-called the couples she's talking about, 60% of them, they're in cohabit relationship. And this cohabit relationship exposes the woman mainly and the children to misery, to danger, to unprotection. Because it is a status which is not recognized. So what happens when either the boy dies after some years, some kind, with children, the relatives throw them out, and when they come to us, I ask, are you married? No, we've been staying together. So I have no law. I have no protection to this person and the children, and they are thrown on the street, and they are suffering, and they are homeless. The other situation is when the boy thinks he's now fed up with this girl, whether 8 years, whatever you call it, whether marriage or what,
Of living
together, they have children. Probably they've been buying their property together. The other one is working. This is working. You bring the you buy land. I put on a house. I buy bed. So they've been having. They think they are married. Because even when you ask them, they say they are married. Even their parents, their children call them daddy and mommy. And in the night, they have a home. They are married. For all intent and purposes, for practical purposes, they are married. So they gather their property together. When this man is fed up, get out of my home with her children on the street, she goes and marries somebody else. So we are saying, this is what we are saying. This relationship is not a marriage within the meaning of the marriage. But it is a relationship which is right on the ground, which is existing. And it has not been brought by the law because the law is not there yet. The law is not there yet. Yet 60% of these couples are cohabiting. So don't accuse the law that it is the one causing problems. But we are saying now, the government, whose responsibility it is to protect its people, must protect the children and the women in this relationship which is unrecognized. This is a problem which we must attend to as a government.
Miriam, hold on here. You're saying that you actually hate the relationship as is.
I don't like
But
it.
the law that we are creating actually gives it a leeway to exist. We are not creating a circumstance, because what should be is we should create the capacity of this pair to walk to the next
So,
registrar
okay, can you
to register
can
their
you hold
marriage
on and I tell
in
you,
a
because
week,
I was
in
coming
2
to
weeks.
it. No, I was coming to it. I was coming to this point. That's why I was advising these religious leaders who are rising up in arms to condemn. They are like those Pharisees who wanted to throw a stone to the woman who was found in cohabitation, I mean in adultery. I'm saying the religious leaders have a role. First of all, let them ask themselves, why is it that girls and boys are going into cohabit when in fact their religious leaders are supposed to be preaching the right morals, the right values, to preach about morality? What has happened that these people nevertheless are going in cohabit? So what they should do, first of all, they should intensify their preaching about good morals, about good ethical values.